Yeah.
Well, let's check in with KRQE News 13 anchor Elizabeth Alvarez, who has the morning's news headlines, which I predict next week one of the news headlines will be, what will our Queen Elizabeth be naming her royal baby?
I know, right? Stay tuned. 1 week from today, this baby comes out. So, so excited and so blessed.
Aww.
Good morning to you, ladies. Good morning to you at home. We begin this morning talking about the cop who was being investigated because of ties to a controversial blog is no longer a cop. Her attorney says she was fired. Dawn Roberto had been with the Albuquerque Police Department for 14 years, but her attorney says Roberto got fired yesterday because she contributed to the blog called Eye on Albuquerque. Now, the blog has been highly critical of the police departments and the city leaders, but Roberto's lawyer says she never wrote anything disparaging on it and severed ties with it 2 years ago. Roberto's attorney says that his client was fired for lying and violating the police department's social media policy. The police union president says Roberto is a good cop and that the social media policy is necessary but hasn't been applied fairly.
I've seen officers that have received a huge suspension from social media sites, and then I've seen other officers that have received 20 to 30 hours of suspension, if anything at all.
So the union will now appeal Dawn Roberto's firing. We now know the two men behind Monday night's deadly double shooting in northwest Albuquerque were drinking and got into an argument before the shooting. Police say Henry Aragon shot his son-in-law, Antonio Trujillo, then called 911. The operator heard him yelling for Trujillo not to die. Before officers got to the house, they say Aragon killed himself as his neighbors watched. Police are not saying what the two were arguing about. Investigators now say the teenager who died in a ditch of rushing water in Los Lunas last weekend was trying to get a cell phone that he had dropped. Matthew Mares was with 4 friends Saturday. He was crossing a bridge near Canal Road, dropped his phone, and when he tried to get it, apparently he fell in. Then he ended up getting caught in rushing water and died. Medical investigators are doing toxicology tests to see if Mares had been drinking. Well, on a different note, here is some good news for kids in schools. They are going to get an extra $12.5 million in the next 4 years to focus on early childhood education. That's on top of the $25 million the U.S. Department of Education gave the state last year. And it's the age-old question, why does a chicken cross the road? In Corrales, it was probably because it was trying to get away from a hungry bear. Watch this. Game and Fish say that the bear probably came down from the Sandia Mountains, went across town, through the bosque and the river, and wound up in Corrales. The bear then found a chicken in the front yard of one man's home.
Last night he raided the chicken coop in my guest house over here, and he got a chicken.
Yeah, he did get a hold of the chicken. Yesterday, neighbors spotted the bear 50 feet up in a tree. They called Game and Fish, and they used a P&M truck to get the bear down. Neighbors even put bales of hay on the fence so that the bear wouldn't fall and get hurt on the actual fence there. You see here in this video, a Game and Fish officer darted the bear. He barely hung on for a while, but he ended up falling on the mattress. All is well. The bear is going to be okay. Wildlife officers plan to release the bear back into the woods sometime soon. Wow, we are seeing a lot of this, but good that ended the way it did, minus the chicken. Poor chicken. That wraps it up for your Wednesday morning headlines. Be sure to catch Matt, Kristen, and myself every weekday morning on KRQE News 13 beginning at 4:30 a.m. Ladies, gonna send it back to you. Poor chicken.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Poor chicken.
Yeah.
That's
Poor
pretty,
bear.
pretty
Okay,
dramatic
but
watching that bear fall.
I know. It's hard to watch, but bear's okay.